both Phil's and Phoenix are Corfac members. We've seen each other many times over the years. I have to thank Phil. I always do this when I see him. Thank him for introducing us to LinkedIn probably 10 plus years ago. And it's been a transformative marketing effort for our brokerage in town and for many of the folks that work with us now. And so thank you for that, getting us there, Phil. But over the years, he's consulted as well, the top-notch commercial broker in Phoenix, and been on many panels and advisory boards with Corfac and technology work. So Phil, I'm going to turn it over to you now. We're all going to be enlightened. You're going to hear from someone that sells, is just a top industrial and related broker from a hands-on experience of how this might help us. And many of us are doing parts of this, but you'll shed more light on this emerging topic of AI for commercial real estate. Welcome, Phil.
So first of all, thank you guys. Appreciate it's always Tony, appreciate the invitation. And I've been a commercial broker now for going on 26 years. I'm located in Scottsdale, Arizona. Commercial properties, I think, just celebrated 28 years with Corfac International. And me personally, I jumped on board in 2012. So it's been a few years. So today I want to walk you guys through just kind of how I'm leveraging AI for my commercial business. I don't know if any of you had a chance to head over to the New Orleans Corfac conference, but I was moderating a panel of myself and 3 other brokers, and we were just talking through AI and tech tools. So I'm going to kind of, I also did a webinar yesterday for Corfac, also some of the AI tools. What I did when I was at New Orleans, I told everybody, you know, we're touching high level stuff here. Why don't we put together a webinar where we can sit down and kind of give you exactly what tools I'm using and how I'm using it. So that's what today will be, kind of a merge of the New Orleans conference and what I did yesterday. Are you guys able to see my screen at all?
We can see you. Yes, we can see you. Yeah.
But can you see my PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, it's got the label on it and AI for CRE.
Okay, you guys can see it. Okay, great. By the way, there is a QR code here, and if any of you guys would like some of the free resources I'll be providing today, if you click on that, it'll collect your information and I'll be able to email you guys the tools that I've been using. So I'll bring that back up in the middle here, but just figured I'd give you guys a heads up of what that QR code is. Okay, well, here we go. So the elephant in the room, all of us are being bombarded by AI. And what's funny is a tool that was awesome, let's say 4 weeks ago, is no longer even relevant today. And I'm sure you guys have had a lot of other conferences and emails, LinkedIn posts, and YouTube videos of every new tool that's coming out. I'm sure most of you have tried ChatGPT. If you're able to comment, put a 1 if you've used it to make your emails better. Put a 2 if you're actually leveraging agents, and put a 3 if you are actually doing code and creating autonomous AI employees. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys are doing here.
Oh, do you want us to poll through the original screen, Phil?
No, I heard that you had some people, so I just figured if
you want to show fingers.
But for everyone in the conference room, never mind. So I can see the conference room by show of hands. Who here has used ChatGPT or something to make emails better, that kind of thing? Okay. Have any of you jumped into using AI agents? Let me see your hands if you've started using an agent. 1 or 2 of you. Okay. Do any of you have an autonomous AI employee? You see? 1. Can't tell. Maybe 1. All right. Well,
the next meeting, we'll all have our hands up, Phil.
Exactly right. So today's going to be a little bit different. We're going to start by helping you learn how to take the building blocks to start learning and leveraging AI for your commercial real estate business. I don't know if you guys know this, but about 5 years ago, I began leveraging virtual assistants from the Philippines, and it was awesome. It allowed me to save a ton of hours. It allowed me to get a lot of work done. I hired full-time, 40 hours per week on my behalf, and I doubled my business in less than a year. It was great. Now, the hard part is they're awesome and they're still on my team, but I wanted to find a way to make them even more efficient, make me as a broker more efficient. So I began investing and trying to figure out how can I leverage AI in addition to my virtual assistants for my business. And so AI is very similar to like a virtual assistant, but it's faster, cheaper, available 24/7. It doesn't have to take a nap or sleep during the night. It also never calls in sick. But the honest truth is, it's not something that you build and you never touch. It's not autopilot, it's a co-pilot. So you're still going to drive. It's going to be handling research, prep, follow-up analysis for you guys. And so your 40 hours that you are working in the week is going to be so much more productive than if you were just working 65 hours a week without AI. When it comes to there was a point I wanted to make regarding the virtual assistants that I have right now on my team. I have 2 full-time virtual assistants, and they have access to everything that I do, but AI does not. There's a lot of privacy concerns, and everybody has privacy concerns. And so the way that I'm leveraging AI is I'm having it do a ton of research, which is probably my most favorite thing I'm having AI do, but it's not touching any of my sensitive documents. It's not going into my back-end financials. It's not touching stuff from clients that should not be seen. So just be aware of that. So the foundation that most brokers skip is they get all excited and they start trying everything. And by the way, I'm guilty of this as well. At one point, I think I had 12 different AI systems I was experimenting with and trying with. But, you know, most of us, when it comes to AI, we're probably at a level, I don't know, 1 or 0. We're being very reactive. We don't really have anything documented. You start leveling up when you start recording everything you do, and it knows exactly who you are. You have SOPs or standard operating procedures. You start getting systems in place. And then once everything is fully documented and you can really automate your business, that's when you're at a level 9. So the goal for everybody here is you want to start documenting exactly what you do and have SOPs in place. So here is the AI elevation roadmap. There's 5 stages. And like I said, I think most of us are at 0 or 1, but you know, you're watching, you're bookmarking, you're seeing what's out there. Maybe you see a couple of YouTube videos, you're playing with GPT a little bit. Then you start activating more. Now you start using it for real commercial real estate uses. It begins to answer questions. Maybe you're taking a letter of intent and you're connecting a lease and seeing if they match up and any red flags. You begin to integrate, stage 2. Now you're talking, having systems talk to each other. You're getting some hours back in your day. Stage 3, orchestrate. Now AI is starting to scale your business. You've got deal flows and workflows that are on autopilot. And then the last one, elevate, is where you and the systems are indistinguishable because it's all part of exactly what you do all day, every day. So most of us are starting at stage 0, stage 1, and that's great. That's a great place to start. Today, I'm going to give you guys a few more steps to start getting through these stages better. When I was at the New Orleans conference and we did a panel, I was asking Trent Scott, Ed Delpicaro, and Troy Gerspacher, I was asking these guys, hey, what are you guys currently using for tech tools? And maybe some of them might include AI or not. And so Trent was walking us through that he's leveraging build out. He's leveraging Trello, which is very similar to Asana or like Monday. It's a project management software. He's also using MS Teams. He decided to bring everybody into Microsoft Teams. And then he's also using LandTech because they're doing a lot of stuff with land out there in Orlando. Then we went over to Ed Del Barcaro. Ed is primarily using what a lot of us are using, CoStar, LoopNet, Crexi. He does a little bit with Brevitas, and he's also, his team is leveraging BuildOut. And then we came to Troy. Troy was probably doing a few more things relating to AI. He's using Fixer AI. So on my call today, I'm using Fathom. Fixer is very similar where it can record calls, but also Fixer is one of their strengths is that ties into your email system. So it helps kind of manage your entire email. And it can even write emails for you. His team is also using Copilot, RealNext. Otter AI is very similar to the Fathom that I'm using. And then he's also using Umail. And then for myself, I was walking them through that I'm using Perplexity, Claude, Grace, and Claude, which is an actual device, and I'll get more into that, and then anti-gravity. So let me kind of give you a little bit more details into kind of the tools that I'm using every single day. So who here in the room has not heard of Claude? Let me see your hand if you have not heard of Claude. Okay. So we've all heard of ChatGPT, correct? Okay. It's very similar. It's a large language model, just like ChatGPT. There's also Perplexity. There's also Gemini and a few others. Right now, Claude, I think, is winning the race, and they have so many aspects to that platform that I'm using it primarily every day. Then we go over to Perplexity. Perplexity is just like ChatGPT and Claude. But what's different about Perplexity is they have a agent browser. So if you guys are using, let's say, Chrome or Firefox or Brave, they've created Comet, which is the same thing. But what's awesome is it's not just a browser, it's a browser agent, which means if you had, let's say for me, and I can give you an example, is I had WordPress up and my WordPress got hacked. And I wasn't too sure how to fix this hack from my website. And they installed like 71 crazy articles. And I'm like, how do I fix this? So option A is I can go try and do it myself, but I don't know how to do. I'm not a WordPress guy. Number two, I could hire someone to do it for me. And that was going to be quite a bit of money. And I thought I would try Perplexity, and I used the agent. And so I just said, hey, I got hacked. I don't know what to do with my WordPress. What should I do? And it says, well, hold on, let me take a look. And so now it's looking at my site. It's looking at the webpage. It's looking at my WordPress. And it was able to go in and start saying, okay, here's all the things that are happening. Here's what you need to do first. And it gave me the steps. Well, I took it one step further and I said, could you just do it for me? I don't really want to follow all these steps. I don't understand half of this stuff. And it goes, sure. All of a sudden, it starts clicking through the buttons. It was able to remove the person who had hacked my system, was able to delete all of the bad stuff. It actually took me to my Hostinger, logged in there. I logged in, but it was able then to get on the back end and create a two-off authentication. And it was great. And I was like, holy moly. Like that was the first time I began to see the power of AI in something I'm doing during my workday. So that's one. Then we have Grace, which is an AI employee. I'll get into more of that later. I'm using Claude. I don't know if you can see my face, but it's this little tiny piece here. It's a little piece of hardware. And what's great about this, it allows me to take this to meetings where I'm not on a Zoom. I'm not on a computer. I'm physically someplace and I can bring it with me. And now I can record all of those conferences, all the conversations happening in those calls and on those in-person meetings. I'm also using Fathom. Fathom records all of my Zoom meetings. So I have a couple of coaches, and every coaching session I'm in, I record it. I also have team meetings with my virtual assistants. I also have meetings with my junior brokers and my partner. Everything is being recorded on the Fathom. And then lastly, we're not going to get into this today, but because I have an AI coach, I was able to learn how to leverage anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is built by Google, but what's nice is I can use the different types of LLMs out there that I am paying for. And then I can have it install software for me. And I used anti-gravity. Here's another example on a different website that I have, which is my own personal commercial real estate website. We ended up having a letter come in. I got sued by an attorney, and they said, hey, we noticed you have a copyrighted image. And so after doing some research, the place that the guy who got my website built, he used it. It did say free to use. It was a free pictures you could use for your website. But then if you clicked in deeper into the fine print, it said, if you have a business, it's not free. And we didn't see that fine print. So now they're coming after me, $2,500 per image. I had 46 images. That's like $119,000 issue. And I went into anti-gravity and said, hey, can you find for me every image that might be, copyrighted? And it said, yeah, you have 46 of them. So I had it go in, and it went to my website, and it was able to delete all of those copyrighted images. And then I thought, you know what, to be safe, let's just delete every image. And can you create for me using Gemini, Nano Banana, can you create for me a custom image that's similar to what the image was? And make sure that you notate the size of the item. And it took about a week, but anti-gravity was able to create 102 custom images so that nothing in my website had any potential to be copyrighted. And I was able to go back in and negotiate on that one image because they had not looked at the other images I had on there yet. So yay to anti-gravity, saved me $119,000 potential lawsuit. So leveraging AI is awesome when you start learning how to do it. Anti-gravity, that gets you into like a level 7 or 8. But for you, I'm gonna walk you guys through other ones I'm using that can get you started. So I'd like you to meet Grace. Grace is my AI employee from my team. She directly reports to Teresa. Teresa is my virtual assistant from the Philippines, and she runs everything for my team. And so Grace reports to her. My second VA, Kim, reports, and Kim's an actual person. But Grace, I'm 57 years old. I had a baby, and my baby's name is Grace. Anyway, Grace has her own computer. She also has her own phone, her own iPhone, and her own email address. She has her own Google Workspace, her own credit card. I have given her access to her own logins. She has infinite memory and zero downtime. And so she is doing research around the clock for our team on anything you could think about. So Kim uses Grace because Kim is in charge of all of my marketing. And so Kim is creating the majority of all my marketing, including my school community. And she's having Grace create most of that content. And then I come in and approve it. And Kim is awesome at knowing what looks good, what looks bad. So if Grace makes something she doesn't like, she tells Grace to go back and do it again. Teresa is using her for our CRM and then also for a ton of research. We're trying to figure out what are the top trends in commercial real estate. I'm doing a lot of cold calling. By leveraging virtual assistants, leveraging Grace, I'm able to spend more time prospecting now. So where I used to make roughly 30 to 50 calls in a week, I'm now making over 200 calls per week. So unique, different. Maybe you guys at one point could get your own Grace if you wanted. We're not going to go there today, but I did want to introduce her to you so you guys kind of knew what it was. And by the way, the picture you see right here, I went into Gemini and I said, I would like to have you create a person for me from scratch. I would like this person to be 26 years old. I would like them to be part Filipino and part South African with blue eyes. And this is what I got. So, all right. So your first steps to leveraging AI. In Claude, all of you can go ahead and sign up for Claude. It's free. They have a free program. My recommendation is you want to get to a paid program at one point. If you pay it for a year, it's $16 a month. If you pay it month per month, I think it's $20. But you're going to want to go into Claude. You want to create projects. And then you're going to call that project my CRE business. And then you're going to begin putting in everything about who you are. So that's the first one, create a Claude project. Number two, you're going to install your contacts. So you're going to paste in your market, your specialization, your current deals. You're going to give it everything it needs to know exactly who you are. And then number three, and we'll go into this a little bit more, but you're going to ask the one big thing. And then number four, you're going to help it prep for all the different types of phone calls you guys are. All right, so let's talk about the one big thing prompt. And you guys will get a copy of this entire slideshow and of course, a copy of the video as well. But this is what you're going to put into Claude once it knows who you are. Now, by the way, here's a shortcut. For all of you who have been using ChatGPT, you can do this in chat because chances are chat also knows right now, if you've been using it for more than a few months, all of the emails you've given it, all of the questions you've given it, everything you've worked inside of it, you can put this prompt in, you'll probably get a decent answer. I just feel that Claude gives even better answers. That's why I like Claude. So this is the prompt you're going to put in. Based on everything you know about me, what is the one big thing that will make the biggest impact, generate the most money, and move the needle for most of my commercial real estate business right now? Then tell me specifically what AI can help me with this. This was a prompt that I got from my AI coach, and I used it, and oh my gosh, it was awesome. It pretty much told me that I'm working on stuff I should not be working on. It told me, get your butt on the phone and let your virtual assistants and let Grace jump in and do all the other things. So I no longer am inputting anything into my CRM. I'm not managing my emails. I've got my virtual assistants and Grace jumping in and doing that kind of stuff. So anyway, why this works. After giving AI your business context, this prompt forces it to synthesize everything and give you the highest leverage next move. It's not generic advice, it's your advice. And so just because I'm now making calls, I decided to block out half of my day for prospecting. This last week alone, the commissions that I have coming in based on these opportunities is over 300,000 because I'm actually doing commercial real estate work. I'm not focused on doing all of the admin stuff that as a broker, because I don't own CPI. I'm just one broker here out of 60 brokers. But for me personally, I need to grow. I want to learn. I want to figure out how to leverage my time. I also want to take a lot more trips with my wife. And my dad died early, and I'm thinking, you know what? I could still walk. I could still eat. I'm not in a wheelchair. I might as well go see the world. And so I am pushing VAs and AI to allow me to do that. And so I just got back from 10 days in the Caribbean. And then in May, I'll be going to Hawaii for 10 days. And then I'm doing Mexico. And then, of course, I'm always doing the CoreFat conferences. By the way, let me stop right there for a minute. Does anybody have any questions?
We're mesmerized. Does the Claude program just sort of send you on the right path in the beginning? That's what
Dan was just asking on this Claude program, the essence of, so is Claude, like, what is this Claude again? Like, how would you sort of describe it?
So Claude is a large language model, just like ChatGPT. If you guys know what ChatGPT is, it's exactly the same thing. It's just they have a lot more power and a lot more aspects to it that you can leverage and use. So they have the normal chat, like you would do with ChatGPT. But then they also have a projects where you can create your own, like what I did is I ended up hiring a commercial real estate coach. Well, I took every webinar, every YouTube video, I took all of the articles, every blog he's ever done, and I put it into Claude. And I did everything into a markdown file. This is where it just makes the file very small and it can be read by computers and by LLMs and by Claude very easily. And I put everything in there. So when I have a quick question, I don't have to reach out to the coach because I pretty much have the coach inside Claude. And it works out awesome. And
So Phil, in that specific case with Dan, he's a specialist in multifamily. He does newsletters, a lot of marketing. writes pieces on real estate, he could feed that all into the Claude and then ask the question, what else can I do for marketing on a cost-effective basis? Or how should I position myself? Like, he would just have to feed in the stuff he does, and Claude will take a look at it.
That's exactly it. That's 100%. That's exactly what you can do. Is like once you start doing the work, once you start having something documented, you can put that into Claude and then have it research and tell you what it thinks and tells you, the better the question, right? The better the output you're going to get from it. But yeah, so we'll move on here to the next one is, you can use it for cold call prep and in 30 seconds. So this is a prompt and you guys are awesome where you could tweak this multiple ways. So I need to call whoever about whatever property type, whatever the address of the location, and then and you put in whatever you know about the client, right? Or the person, help me prepare. What should I lead with? What question should I ask? What's the angle that will get them to take a meeting? Or how can I, what hot points do they have, or what hot buttons, or what pain points, or you can add a lot of that to it. But imagine every time you're going to do a call, you just throw this prompt in. And by the way, you get to a point where you'll have a prompt library. So you'll have these different types of prompts, and then you can just cut and paste, throw it into your Claude, and you can move on. And it makes things so much easier, especially if you have to have a hard conversation. You just tell Claude, I'm about to have a hard conversation with this owner. This is what I have to tell him. I need bullet points, I need talking points, and I need to know the best way to do this so I can be efficient. I could get to the point, not him and haw. And so I use this a lot. So I thought you guys would like that. Thought I'd put that in there. So the record your day hack. So there are apps on your phone that you could actually use that will help you keep track of your time. But I'm going to give you a hack that I think is even better. So what I'm going to have you do is, you guys have Zoom. Everyone has access to Zoom. Zoom pretty much, if you're paying for Zoom, you can do really long, a full day. If you're not paying for Zoom, then you can do it in bits and pieces because you get 40 minutes for free at a time. But what I would recommend is you open up Zoom, you hit record, and you share your screen, and you just talk and move and do your work like you would normally do all day long. And do this for a whole week. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take all of these and you're going to drop the transcript into your Claude project, the one that you had just built that I talked about, okay? And then you're going to ask it questions, and you're going to say, what tasks did I do? Where was I repetitive? What could be automated? And it'll start looking at your day, looking at everything you did, look at how much time you spent on different types of things. Now, if you don't want to use Zoom and you'd like to use your phone, you can use what's called, hold on, I'll tell you the exact name, Toggle. And it's no E in it. Let's see here, Toggle. Toggle Track. So Toggle Track. Toggle Track, you can also have it record everything you do. And this is where I made it on my phone so that every time I closed out an app, it would bring up my Toggle tracker. And then I would just put in, I went to the bathroom, I made cold calls. I went to lunch. I did an errand. I did a meeting with my virtual assistant. And then I worked on a LOI. Then I worked on a lease. And then I returned some calls. And I did that as well for 2 weeks, and then threw all that into my Claude. And it was like, what are you doing all day? You're goofing around all day. And you don't know how much time you're wasting until you actually track your time. But this right here, using the Zoom, is a free and easy way to do it as well. And then what you're going to do is, once it tells you what you could have automated and what, there's going to be some things you're going to discover that you didn't even realize. You're going to pick the top 3 repetitive tasks, and then you're going to start building your first automations from there. So YouTube filter strategy. This is awesome. There are so many YouTube videos that you start putting into I'll watch later. Has anybody ever done that? Am I just the only one that keeps saying I want to watch videos later? I don't do that anymore. what I do now is I actually go to YouTube to transcript.com, and that's on there. And then I will drop that into Perplexity. Now, Perplexity, I told you, is my browser. It's my research. I could drop it into Claude as well. I just happen to like Perplexity as well. Perplexity is awesome. And so you could do either one, Claude or Perplexity. And then it's going to tell you, based upon relevance, if this is worth your time, if this is something you should be using, what golden nuggets are in here, what action plan. And then from there, you can take those nuggets. Now, let me show you something. Let me open up a browser here. Let me go live for a second. Okay. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go into YouTube. So I was looking at how to win with AI in 2026 from Alex Hormozy, and Alex has great content, but I'm trying to figure out, do I have time? Should I even do this video? So I took the video and I took the link and I copied the link.
AI is here.
And then I went to YouTube. To transcript.com. And I took that link and I pasted it in there. And I can get a free transcript. When it comes up, it shows the video, and right here, copy. You just copy this. And then let's go into my Perplexity. So in here, based on everything you know about me and my business and what I'm trying to do with AI, let me know if this video is worth my time. If it is worth my time, let me know exactly what the golden nuggets are. What are some of the things I should be aware of? Okay, so I put that there. I then am going to put in the transcript, and I could also come in here and I could take the video and add that video in here as well. So let me do that. And then I just the button. And then it's going to go ahead and watch the video for me, look at the transcript, and it's going to tell me what it thinks. It's worth your time, but only if you translate it into very concrete moves in your own stack and offers. Here's the distilled version. Is it worth watching? Yes, if. And then here's some gold nuggets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then what you should be aware of and potential pitfalls. I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I was able to get that much out of the video within seconds. So anyway, that's a YouTube filter strategy I thought you guys might like. That's helped me as well. Okay, capture your exhaust. If it's not captured, it's leverage left on the table. So rule number 1, you guys want to start recording everything, every call, every meeting, every site visit, every process walkthrough. AI can't help you with conversations that it's never heard. And this is how the arms and legs feed the brain that you just built. So here's what I'm using right now. So the first one I'm using is a microphone, an external mic in conjunction with Aqua Voice. So Aqua Voice and an external mic. Let me do this real quick. All right, I don't know if you guys can see my face, but here is my microphone. I got this from Amazon. It was 20 bucks. And I like the external mic because even if you have a laptop, the laptop mic doesn't seem to pick up as well. The other thing is I've used the computer, like Google has a microphone. I have an HP computer. It also has a microphone. But for some reason, when I'm talking into it, it truncates everything I'm saying, just like Siri does. Siri does the same thing on my phone. It doesn't know what I'm saying. But I got Aqua Voice, and then I got this microphone that I just plugged into the USB, and I use this for my laptop as well. And now I'm getting to the habit where I'm talking to my computer versus typing. And what's nice with Aqua Voice is it does punctuation, it brings in space. You could actually do an entire email, and it looks almost as if you wrote it yourself just by you talking. So that right there, that will cut down a ton of time.
Hey, Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, not to interrupt you on that, but oddly enough, now we're into AI philosophy, but this idea of record everything, we'll save that for another conversation, but I think all of us would be, have our concerns about that, but with your messaging, we can see why it's important. So that's one thing, philosophy on record everything.
Yep.
And I think we're on the same page that, at least what my kids are telling me, typing is a thing of the past. Like, we should not be really typing anything, or it would seem that with AI and talking is going to be the way forward, or it's already here.
Yeah. Now, there's certain things too, Tony, that I'm not.
And I was going to joke and say, because people will tease me, talking is one thing I can do. But anyway, at least only AI has to listen to it now.
Yep. Claude is the portable recorder that I bring with me that I showed you guys right here. It's super thin and easy, and it has roughly a 30-hour battery life, and I can record infinite. And then, of course, Fathom. And Fathom records. What's nice about Fathom is I'm using Call Vault. And Call Vault is a program where it takes every single Fathom I have and it puts it into one location. And so then I can take all my transcripts and I can just click, click, click and see every call I've ever recorded in one spot. So that's a very nice tool. All right. So for those of you who jumped in later or didn't have a chance, if you guys want to click on this QR code, I will literally send you guys an email of the different types of commercial real estate sources that I'm using that pertains to AI. So take a couple of seconds, get your phones out, do a real quick scan of that. Is that big enough? Can you see it all right?
That little.
Yeah.
I don't think I can make the slide bigger, but hopefully that works.
It comes up.
Okay.
You want us to do it now, Phil?
Yeah, do it now. Just makes it
okay. Okay.
I want to make sure that all of you get free stuff for jumping on and spending time on the call today. All right. Tell me when you're ready.
Then I presume the rest of the AI is not going to work.
All right, we're going to go ahead and jump on. So here is your AI learning system. You want to treat AI like prospecting. You got to block out the time. So I mention this a lot, but if you want to grow, you have to force growth. You have to force it. You can't just tweak something small and then expect things to take place. So what I did is I personally hired an AI coach. And what this forced me to do was 2 times per week, an hour each session. I was 2 hours a week. I'm learning AI. I'm learning different aspects of it. I'm learning how to leverage it. I'm learning what tools are out there. I wasn't using a microphone. I wasn't using Aqua Voice. I was using, nothing. I wasn't recording everything. I wasn't tracking. I wasn't doing self-audits. So anyway, you want to dedicate the time, work on real tasks, and stack your learning. So watching is addition, installing is multiplication. And here's the truth. I literally don't have the bandwidth to be your guys' AI coach. I'm a full-time commercial real estate broker. I'm doing my own business. I'm doing my own thing, right? But I'm happy to share with Corfac exactly kind of the things I'm working on and what I'm working on. So what I did is I brought in my coach, Andrew, and I said, Andrew, listen, you've helped me with commercial real estate. I've got other commercial real estate people that I know of that they would love to have you show them what to do as well to get up and running. So this right here is Andrew Nagel. I didn't have time to actually put his picture on the screen. But Andrew Nagel owns AIsimple.co. And in fact, I think if I go to, hold on. Right here, AIsimple.co. This is the coach that I'm using. This is Andrew right here. If you can see his face, it's kind of small, I know. But anyway, let me introduce you to Andrew. He was given the award in 2025, top 1% of all ChatGPT users. He builds AI systems for 7 to 9 figure founders. He has deployed multiple real AI employees, including for me. He's the one that helped me build Grace. He's also a certified chief AI officer. For the last 3 years, he has been spending 10 to 16 hours per day inside AI. He says he doesn't teach, he installs it. What he built for me, my CRE coach that I talked to you guys about, cold call trainer, tone of voice profile. So when I'm creating stuff, it sounds just like me. Template builder, lead intelligence, and also he has taught me how to leverage and use multiple different types of tools, including Perplexity, Claude, Claude Cowork, Claude Code, and OpenClaw, and anti-gravity, and a few other things. So what I asked Andrew, I said, listen, we don't have time to really learn AI at one time. We can't squeeze everything into 1 day or 2 days. I said, us brokers, we need to be able to do, bite-sized pieces, baby steps. And so he came up with a 12-week AI installation. This is very similar to the stuff that I actually went through. This is designed though for commercial real estate brokers. And so just so you guys know, if you want to be able to leverage a coach, I'm not saying you have to. I'm hoping that what I provided today was awesome. But if you wanted to leverage somebody, here's a way to do it. So there's a QR code here. If you scan that QR code, that will actually connect you to Andrew. But the 12 weeks is weeks 1 through 4. He's going to help you build a foundation. He's going to audit your workflow. He has an entire survey he'll have you fill out. He's going to help you build your AI business brain. By week 4, you're going to know how Claude is going to know your market, your clients, your voice, and your deals. Weeks 5 through 8 is he's going to now implement all that. You're going to start installing automations and then building on top of those automations. He's going to show you lead enrichment, which one of the things that I love about that is I definitely can have him pull data of every person I'm talking to and let me know everything about them, their travel plans, where they're at, exactly who they know that I might know. It's great. Also, he has follow-up systems that will run without you. And then later, acceleration. This is where you're doing content systems. So now you've got deal analysis tools, market intelligence. You've got 5 automations that are fully running, and you have a very clear roadmap. So I just figured, hey, if you guys are looking for a good, clear roadmap, either for the firm or you individually as a broker, I have found a lot. So he typically charges $6,000. If you guys click on that QR code and you want to put in the code CORFAC, CORFAC, that's a $3,000 discount you guys will get, and it only costs you $297. So hope that helps. Hope that's something that you like. So once again, here is that QR code for the resources. And if you want, here is the code here for Andrew. All right, we are now at the end. I was trying to make this so I'd be under an hour for you guys, Tony, but I'm sure there's a few questions that are out there, and I'm happy to answer as many questions as you have.
Okay. Bill, that is awesome. You gave us plenty of food for thought. Let me ask I've got a question, but I want to just ask the room any specific questions for Phil.
Can we split that with, like Chris and I split that, and we have to pay each?
Yeah, probably. I say splits are allowed. We might let our team split. We have various teams here.
Can we add budget that?
Yeah, that price is per team, just so you guys know.
Oh.
Like if you don't have a team and it's just you, that's the price for you. But if you have a team, yeah, the whole team gets, because I have a team. right? And when I was working with Andrew, a partner, I have 3 or 4 junior brokers and I have 2 virtual assistants. So yeah.
How much did your business go up by after you implemented all this stuff?
So when I first started using virtual assistants, I doubled my business. And since I've been leveraging AI, I would say I've increased another 40% on top of that.
And Phil, you do a lot of deals, and I just say you're trying to, have a quote balanced life. So that's part of it. I have one question for you, just in terms of practicality. I think I can get how all this might work is, I go to a lot of events, meet a lot of people. I was out with a fellow yesterday, Gord, longtime broker. He's now involved in repping developers and such. Of course, I meet him, I write down in my book, I put on my phone, and the next thing you know, either I gotta remember to get back to him or, follow up with him or whatever I said I'd do. So I guess if AI has access to my work, let's just say my work life, that if I say, oh, don't forget to get back to Gord, I got to follow up with this, make sure I do it, that it will actually find his phone number, his email, and I then don't have to get all that in there. And then as well, can you please find all his coordinates online so you can add them to my database so that I don't have to add stuff in. So, we're all meeting a lot of people. Can AI in this fashion do that?
Yeah, in fact, it's doing that now for Andrew. Andrew just completed what's called his Life OS, and he was able to build that using Claude code. And it's a dashboard. And so one of the aspects is it controls and monitors drift. And drift is where you meant to follow up, but you didn't, or you haven't been in touch with somebody, or you told them you were going to do something and you still haven't done it. And so he's got a section in there that alerts him, hey, these are the people that are starting to fall through the cracks. This is what you wanted to do, and you should be in front of them. But it also allows him to do brain dumps. It also, his Life OS is pretty intense. If he was live on the call, he could kind of walk you through, but that our $2,997 price is, he's also going to be building for you guys your own kind of Life OS so that you can manage your business. He's got a section for all his social media, everything that's currently, and by the way, he's having Claude write the majority of it. All he has to do is look at it, approve it, and send it. And he does group calls. And so on one of our group calls, he showed us that it had made a content for him for Instagram. And so he looked at it and he was like, I love it. It's good as is. And we saw him post it live on LinkedIn and saw it post. So if you go to LinkedIn and you type in Andrew Nagel and you look at the post he sent yesterday, the day before, you'll be able to see what the AI had created and generated based upon who he is, what it knows about him, that kind of thing. But with him leveraging AI, he's been able to land clients because he was able to, like you talked about, Tony, he's not dropping balls. He's not having those cracks like we all seem to have.
Yeah, and I think, Phil, another session or something we think about maybe with this Andrew session is leveraging on the marketing front relative to an individual. It can work for the company, but whether to an individual firm or let's just say brokers, which we're trying to deal with today, is there's really no more excuses for not getting that piece out to get more exposure for whatever expert you are, the warehouse specialist in Delta, and then a rhythm of outreach into the marketplace. That just seems so doable now. And again, getting back to philosophy, having AI write this stuff is something we all have to either get used to, or those of us that are older get comfortable with that part of the business.
Yeah.
I guess
Ronan's not here. I was going to ask him a question, but we got another question from Midmar.
Just wondering, you said you were going to send this entire presentation to us?
We'll send it. By email.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Phil. Why don't we? I think we're ready to wrap up on our end here. Any hands up or questions out in the online world? Let's see if we can see our pals.
What asset class is Philip? And where, in California?
Arizona.
Yep,
Bill,
Scottsdale.
you're predominantly industrial, I think.
I am predominantly investment. So I
Okay.
do industrial, office, medical, and retail investments across the country.
Well,
I my
again,
fair share of tons of listings. My partner is a landlord junkie, and so at one point we had 46 listings that comprised of those three, and then and a little bit of land. But yeah, we're primarily landlord rep and investment is what we do.
wonderful. Well, Ray, thanks for coming in from Toronto. Phil, thank you very much
Appreciate the invite.
for putting us in here, and we're getting nice comments online already. Thanks very much, Barb. It's appreciated.
Yep.
And for everyone here, we appreciate you. So
Thanks, Tony.
so much, Phil.
Good, thanks.
Oh,
See
yeah.
Seeing you too. Thanks.
Just responding to Grace, Phil.
Exactly.
We'll let you sign off, and then we'll wrap up our meeting.
Yep, I'm gonna leave.
And,
Have a good day. See ya.
And then Phil, send me the audio summary of our meeting today.
Okay, you got it.
Recorded it. Okay.
See you
Thanks
guys.
again.
Bye.
Thank you enough. And just for everyone online, we'll just hang in there for another few minutes. Thank you. Well, there's the latest on technology. So it seems like it's time we get into the
Midmore is going to be running the class next week, teaching what he knows about it.
Yeah, Midmore's on.
It'll be a 2-hour.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll be away then. My virtual family.
Just while we're still here, want to let everyone know again that Queenie's joined us in March.